Hello, everybody. Welcome to this webinar, which is about the idiomatic expressions and sayings from the languages of Utopia. My name is Anna Winlund. I am a PhD student of Swedish as a second language, and I will be your quizmaster today in this little play that we have here. Well, Utopia is a collaboration between different universities and people with different linguistic experiences. And of course, this raises question about linguistic awareness and the awareness of the fact that our differences might sometimes lead to misunderstandings. Because as we all know, learning a new language is not only about learning the vocabulary, the phonology or the grammar of a language, but it's also about learning the pragmatics of language, that is, how you use language in different situations. And one of the tricky things in languages that I really like is when people say things and mean something else. And I'm not referring to people here lying or being ironic, but when people use idiomatic expressions or sayings that often are based on historical experiences of the language, or maybe sometimes even the language users' worldview. So we're going to play around these expressions today, I thought. But first, I'll just say something about my department. As I said, I'm a PhD student of Swedish as a second language, and I belong to the Department of Swedish. My own research is about recently immigrated adolescents who are learning to read and write and who are going to school for the first time in their lives as teenagers here in Sweden. But at my department, we are also really interested in multilingualism. And actually, we have Sweden's only professor of multilingualism, and his name is Tommaso Milani, and fortunately he couldn't be here today, but he's going to present one of the learning communities. He's going to present one of the learning communities later this week. I think we can get the details a little bit later, but this learning community is about multilingualism and diversity. So this turn of research, you could say, in our department has led to the fact that we are changing names to the Department of Swedish, Multilingualism and Language Technology, which is another important area of research. I also want to say that our neighboring department called Språk och litteraturer, meaning languages and literatures, they offer courses of languages such as English, Arabic, or Somali. But now let's get back to this quiz. So Utopia is a multicultural and multilingual alliance represented by 6 countries and at least 7 languages: Catalan, Dutch, English, French, Slovenian, Spanish, and Swedish. In this quiz, we'll see what you know about a few idioms and expressions from the languages of Utopia. So let's get started. First of all, I will ask you, Lisa Broadwell, to explain to us how is this going to work out?
Absolutely. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the format of the quiz. First of all, if you could all please take your phones and go to menti.com and use the code 14800989. It's at the top of the presentation. So please go in there. That is going to be where the quiz questions are going to come up. Anna is going to read the question. She'll read the choices, which you will also see the question and the choices in your phone. You make your selection. As soon as voting closes, you will see the answer. Then we're going to just say a little something about the phrase, different things depending on the phrase, different aspects of it. Sometimes we're going to pause a little bit more and get a bit of your time, and this is mostly towards the end, getting input and questions. We encourage you throughout to use the Q&A, especially if certain expressions that come up in the questions are ones that you want to, if you can think of parallels or similar ones in other languages, please feel free to include those in the Q&A. And then we'll have a couple of spots within Menti also for you to put in your comments. Of course, we welcome humor. That's a big part of this quiz today, but we do ask, please, in the places where you do have free text answers, to please keep them appropriate and not to be insulting to other countries, not to use language that could be seen as insulting either. Finally, at the end, we're going to have a quick word cloud. And I think that's it. Again, feel free to hop in with your own favorite idioms and things like that along the way. Part of this is to be able to compare also with other languages and see similarities and differences between them. So with that, I turn it back over to Anna.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so are you all ready? In that case, I will start.
So hold on, we'll
yeah.
see.
How many players do we have, Lisa? Can we see that?
A lot of people seem to be coming in.
Yeah.
Give it another couple minutes. Give it another few seconds. Just let people get in there. But again, the email, the web address and code will stay at the top for everyone. So even if you come in a touch late, that's fine. Oh, I see where the counter is. And we've got 34. So people are still trickling in. Okay, I think we'll go ahead then and get started. Whoop. Yep. Hold on. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. Go.
Okay. So if Swedes say that they are out and bicycling, what do they mean? They are out enjoying a rare sunny day? Am I in the wrong place? Isn't this a quiz about idioms? They are going in circles, repeating something already said or done. They are wrong. Off base or off track? What do you think? Swedes out and bicycling, what do they mean? Time's up, Lisa. So, well,
despite my screwing up and showing the wrong slide first.
I think it's a pretty logical answer to guess that they are going in circles, repeating something already said and done. However, the right answer, I say that now, Lisa, so I don't do the wrong thing.
Go right ahead.
It's actually number D. So you weren't out and bicycling if you chose D to be wrong, even humorously so. So att vara ute och cykla, it means being wrong, not knowing what you're saying. So number D, or yeah, letter D was the correct answer. Oop.
Why does it keep doing this? It wasn't doing this to me yesterday.
So let's see. Next question.
Next question.
Which country is called the land on the sunny side of the Alps? Is it Spain, France, Slovenia, or Belgium? The land on the sunny side of the Alps. Which country is that?
There's a bit of geography here too.
Yep.
I think most people have voted.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for it.
We're excited to see the answer.
Okay.
Oh. So most of the people voted for Slovenia, which was the right answer. And so you would say in Slovenia, de zjela na sončni strani Alp. Ale na sončni strani Alp. So I guess that says something about also how you view the weather in Austria or Italy when you're in Slovenia. We have the sunny side of the Alps. Okay, shall we go to the next question?
Next question. Oh. Nope.
Oh,
No.
It's voting again? Voting time again?
No. Okay. I don't know why but it's not giving me what it was giving me in the test. So we will try this.
Can we ask everyone to close their eyes so they don't see the right? No,
there we go. Whoop.
Okay.
There it was. Good. Okay. Go.
In which language are you most likely to hear travel the world and come back to the Born? In Catalan, in Swedish, in Dutch, or in French? Travel the world and come back to the Born. In which language do you say this?
Here, I suspect it's going to be how many people are from the country.
Mm-hmm.
Almost everybody. Couple more.
Everyone has voted, and most people thought that it was in Dutch, but actually the right answer was Catalan. Because the saying is like this, Roda el Mon y torna al Born. So the Born is a neighborhood in Barcelona. In short, as much as you can travel around the world, you will always return to the place you know better, your home. Do you know similar phrases in other languages? Well, I don't know. In Swedish, we would say only, I think, borta bra men hemma bäst, which means away is good, but at home is best.
And in English, in American English at least, we would have home sweet home, which is the same idea.
Yeah. Do we have any other phrases that you would have the time to write in the Mentimeter or in the Q&A? Where do we find the Q&A?
Yep, in the Q&A.
Yeah, where do they find it, the Q&A? Is it easy to find here?
It's in there, in the Q&A in the webinar.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if Mimi got some suggestions in other languages. Not yet. Maybe we can continue or see if we get it later on.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Profesor lepo doma je najlepše. Yes. So, okay, at home is best, I understand, but profesor lepo. So maybe, I don't know what it means. Maybe away is good, but home is better.
Quick top tip for those of you including things in the Q&A. Absolutely, we want to know what it is in the original language, but also include what it is in English.
And what does it mean? Yeah, you can write it later on, maybe there. Okay, shall we take the next question?
We'll go ahead with the next one. Yeah. Ready? Everybody get ready, and here we go.
Yeah. So, what does all hands on deck mean? It's a poker game that starts with players' hands on the deck of cards. calling on every available person to help. What it took to put this Utopia Week together with 2 or more DJs at a club or party. Getting a lot of good suggestion in the chat. We'll talk about it later, I think.
And
almost everybody thought that we had the answer, calling on every available person to help. However, Lisa?
We have also accepted.
Anyone who recognized that it took all hands on deck to make Utopia Week happen, I'm sure, Lisa. So the English idiom with naval origins was hands. Being the sailors in an emergency, they may get called to the deck, a part of the boat, to help out. This expression dates back to the early 20th century. Would you use it, Lisa?
I know I used it a few times during the preparations for Utopia Week to say, all right, people, we need all hands on deck. It's an all hands on deck situation. Mm-hmm. So yes, that's definitely one that gets used.
Yeah. But we also have an expression saying the more cooks, the worse the soup. Ju fler kockar, desto sämre soppa. That if you're too many people involved, it might be messy. Do you have the equivalent in English?
And American that we English? Do. Yep, that one we've got too many cooks spoil the broth.
Yeah.
So it's a similar idea.
But not in this case.
Not in this case. In this case, we needed everybody.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to the next question.
Yeah.
Good. And go.
Okay. Ready? A Dutch person says, "You are fighting the beer cave." What do they mean? You need to stop drinking. You're fighting a losing battle. Your cause can't be won. You look hungover. You think or are acting like you are more powerful than you are. So you are fighting the beer cave. What do they mean?
Answers are streaming in.
Mm-hmm. It's a tricky one, I think.
Almost have everybody. Ooh, good job, people.
Yeah. So 20 people thought you are fighting a losing battle. Your cause can't be won. So let me read this in Dutch now, or try to read in Dutch. Vechten tegen de beerkaai. Give it up now. Your cause is hopeless. Zero chance of a David versus Goliath win. So in the first half of the 18th century, organized fights between men from different neighborhoods were popular in Amsterdam. But if you came up against one of the beer barrel lugging men who worked on the beer cave, you had already lost. I guess they were really strong because they had lots of beer there in Amsterdam.
That they were so big from carrying these barrels all the time that it was pointless to go up and fight against them, that you didn't have a chance. They were gonna knock you out.
Mm-hmm. I never we have okay, so that's the other expression. Yeah. I never heard this kind of expression before, but there should be. I mean, we have a big port in Gothenburg as well. There must be people carrying beer barrels here as well. But
or the fish.
Yeah.
Carrying big crates of fish.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But that one was a good one because it did sound very, I liked it. It was specific to the area. So if we look at the next question.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Spanish saying, go to Sevilla, lose your share. Go to Lyon, lose your armchair, means what? It means that Lyon is more dangerous than Sevilla. Sevilla is expensive. Lyon is even more expensive. Do not take your furniture with you to Sevilla or Lyon. Leave something even for a moment and someone else may take it. So what does this saying mean? Go to Sevilla, lose your share. Go to Lyon, lose your armchair. Time's up. Yeah, very even between two choices here. But actually the correct one then was leave something even for a moment, someone else may take it. This sounds as it has a really historical explanation. Eh? Quien se va a Sevilla pierde su silla. Quien se va a Lyon pierde su sillon. A common expression used when someone leaves their place and then when they come back someone else has taken it. It is based on historical events. Two archbishops exchanged their places, so the eldest could go to the younger one's territory to solve a conflict. The younger one, meanwhile, took the older one's place in Sevilla. After reaching peace, the eldest was ready to get back to Sevilla, but the youngest one would not leave, and the eldest never recovered his territory.
In English, we have a phrase, you snooze, you lose, which is a very short way somewhat of saying this as well. Or, yeah, that you can miss out on an opportunity, or if you give up an opportunity that you have, it's done for you.
Lisa, can I ask you, because you were the one who created this quiz, where did you get these sayings or...
This one, I actually talked to colleagues of mine from different from the different universities in Utopia and asked for different common sayings, most of them based either on travel or on geography and places. So this was one that came up from our colleagues at Pompeu Fabra.
Very good. Shall we take the next one? Next question. In French, we have qui va à la chasse perd sa place. Yes. Thank you.
So again, what's good with that is it shows that they sometimes you use the rhyme. It's the rhyme that's more important to get it than to have the exact translation.
Yeah. I think we will read these Q&As later. Can we do that? Can we go back to it so we can discuss all the
because there are a lot of good ones coming in.
Yeah. Okay, so 7 out of 9.
Here we go.
So you're at a meeting and someone says, let's return to our sheep. What do they mean? We need to get back on topic. It's time to end the meeting. They want to get home to see an episode of Shaun the Sheep. Everyone is getting tired and needs sleep. Let's return to our sheep.
Answers are coming in quickly here.
What does it mean?
I'm suspecting high correct answers.
Yes, me too.
Not to make those who haven't answered nervous.
Everyone has voted.
Yep.
That's a high percentage of right answers, I think. So we need to get back on topic. And in French, I would say, revenons à nos moutons. This is another rhyming idiom, this time from France. This dates back to the mid-15th century. It's the French satirist François Rabelais who used it often. It's a good one. I wonder how he came up with this expression. Maybe one French speaking here knows.
There was a bit more history about it, and it was used even before Rabelais, but that he did use it quite a bit. I'll have to look it up and get back to people about exactly how it developed. But yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
And now
we have another. Okay.
Yep.
Another question. Number 8
Here we
out
go.
of 9. Yes. If someone gets Spanish breathless or Spanish stuffy, how are they? They are overjoyed. They are out of shape. They are full from eating too much paella. They are anxious. Spanish breathless or Spanish stuffy.
Okay.
Thumbs up.
Ooh, this one had a wider distribution.
Yeah, it was a little bit difficult to guess, but the right answer was then they are anxious. And this was another Dutch expression. Het Spaans benauwd krijgen. Het Spaans benauwd krijgen. It's a Dutch phrase that, when used in slang, means state of fear or anxiety. And I guess this has to have some historical explanation as well. But we don't really know, do we?
Nope. This one didn't really have a lot of history behind it.
Maybe
that I could find.
Yeah.
And now
the last question, I think.
Yep. Here we
is how you say something in Spain. In Spain, if you pretend to be a Swede, what are you doing? You're pretending not to understand, being cold and aloof, giving out awards like the Nobel Prizes, showing off, being arrogant.
Oh, this is another one where I think people are gonna. I think this one's going to have a lot of right answers because answers came in very, very quickly. So we'll see.
That's interesting.
See, so it played off of stereotypes, this one.
Yes. And but actually the right answer was pretending not to understand. So in Spanish you would say hacerse el sueco means sorry, I don't understand. Well, actually, yes, I do, but I don't want you to know that. There are tons of variations of this and similar ideas in other languages using different nationalities. Do you have examples? I had never heard this. Hacerse el sueco. Don't play stupid or that you don't understand. What do you have other examples, Lisa?
No, but I can say that I have hacerse el sueco in other countries, that it's great to have a language that other people don't understand. So even if I understand them, I'll be like, I'm sorry, I'm Swedish, I don't understand.
And again, we wonder where this expression came from, of course, but maybe someone knows.
So here you can actually use Mentimeter to put in any examples. What we were thinking of was examples of idioms that come from, that use a country to describe something. So this idea of hacerse el sueco, to use Sweden and Swedes to describe something something else. So an example that I have from English is that when you're at a restaurant, if you're on a date and your date says, hey, so we're going Dutch, right? You might not have planned for that because it means that you're paying for your own meal. Oh, and thank you for the correction on the spelling for hacerse el sueco. I apologize for that.
And so then someone says in Croatian, we say that you pretend to be French. Okay. Yeah, in Slovenia too, we have French people for that. Oh, okay. Yeah, so he's acting French in Slovenia.
Deaf, pretending not to hear what has been said 50 times already. That's a good one. Any other, and it doesn't have to be necessarily about this one. It can be anything to describe somebody. There we go.
To muy španska vas. This is a Spanish village to him, meaning that he knows nothing about it. Oh, yeah, it's like when we would say, this sounds like Greek to me. I don't understand it at all.
Yep, absolutely.
Swedish. Yeah. Filer à l'anglaise, flee the English way. So that means to do it what?
That's so Czech in a Slovenian dialect, meaning that it's not appealing. Filer à l'anglaise, which is, if you filer à l'anglaise, what are you doing?
Or maybe they mean doing something wrong, or I don't know. Being in time is being Swiss in Croatian. Okay, so there's a stereotype of Swiss people being very, very punctual.
Yep.
Apne kam se kamrachta in Urdu. What does that mean?
Oh, what does that one?
Yeah, it's all Greek to me. Someone wrote it was the same as also said in Swedish. In English, we say Dutch courage to mean drinking a bit of alcohol to give you the confidence to do something.
Filer à l'anglaise is going away without saying goodbye.
Yeah. Yes, and then we have Dutch courage to mean drinking a bit of alcohol to give you the confidence to do. And then we cannot see, I think, this, can you see, Lisa, this, someone wrote this interestingly, filer à l'anglaise, and we can't read it, I think.
Nope, I can't.
Yeah, flee the English way, you're fleeing with no courage.
When in Rome, for, do as you would do in the country where you're visiting.
Someone is explaining here. Can we see that?
Hacerse el sueco came from a Swedish fisher when they got to Spanish ports and they didn't understand anything. Yes, to hear the thunder in Cologne means that you're surprised by news that you weren't expecting. I'm really curious about the Urdu expression. And would love to get a bit more. But we'll go on. So here we go. Here is our winner board. Congratulations to Mireia, who came in first place. Second place was Georgina. Mike Himes came in third. But really good to see that there were a lot of good high scores there. Congratulations to everybody. Yay. And so let us go then. And again, you know, I think Anna and I can both say this was by no means an exhaustive quiz on the idioms of the languages. But what we would love to get from everybody is a couple of just final thoughts or reactions. This is the word cloud. So just one or two words here, but feel free to keep using the Q&A to keep putting in examples there.
Shall we read some of the examples in the Q&A? So we had from the beginning, Povsodje lepo doma je najlepše, and svuda podje kući doći, home is where the heart is. Ost-west, vis best is Dutch. Duis, vis best. Your home elsewhere, but at home is the best. So lots of Ost and West expressions. El buen hijo vuelve a casa. In Spanish, a good son go back home. And then we had this all hands on deck. More hands make light work. Vele hande mak lichte werk. And then in French they had said qui va à la chasse perd sa place. So the one who goes hunting loses their place. Lose her seat. In Russian, the bird flew away and the place burned down. Oh, that's dramatic. And then question 8, what was the question 8? It dates back to the Spanish suppression of the lowlands. Okay.
Apparently to leave without paying in Spanish is to irse a la francesca. So leave like a French person.
Yeah. To hear the thunder in Cologne, het horen donderen in Poland means you're completely surprised by some news. Okay.
And that one I read a little bit about, and it was that Cologne was considered to be so far away that if you were able to hear the thunder there, it would be surprising.
And I think it's so interesting because we have all this really old history in some of these expressions, and it says so much about our languages and our meetings between people.
And how they tell you things about the countries, which countries are that you tend to say things about your neighboring countries. I think a lot of times, or the countries that you have close ties with.
Yeah.
And that comes up in a lot of idioms as well.
Of course, in Sweden, we make fun of Norwegians, and the Norwegians make fun of the Swedes. So we actually have exactly the same jokes, just exchange the nationality to say that the other ones are stupid. But it's also said with a bit of love, I think. We have also warm relations to our neighbor. And I think it's the same in many other countries. How about you, Lisa? What are your languages? You speak American English, you said?
American English, but I've also lived in the UK, and I studied French and Spanish, but Swedish has become, I would say it's pushed French down, and that now Swedish is my second language. But idioms and prepositions are probably the two parts of languages that I think no matter what from the outside, you're constantly learning new things to say. And it's funny sometimes how somebody will say an idiom in the middle of something, and I'll have to stop and think about the context. And I think that's another thing, is that out of context and out of its original language, when you look at some of the examples here today, that they might not have made as much sense. But if you speak the language, like, let's return to our sheep, what could that be? Oh, wait, in French we say revenons à nos moutons. Ah, right, all right. So that's this one. What was fun with the born was that the word born could exist in so many other languages that one was a bit trickier.
Yeah.
or which country is on the sunny side of the Alps. There it was. All right, so it's probably going to be France or Slovenia, but if you're less sure about your geography, you might think Spain. Do you have any final thoughts, Anna?
No, I just want to thank you for participating. I thought it was really, I learned many new expressions here as well. I hope I can keep this chat for somehow to study these expressions.
We'll ask Mimi to download it at the end. Who's been helping us behind the scenes, getting us the comments from all of you.
Lisa, I said that I would say something about, this learning community about multilingualism and diversity. Do you happen to know when this?
Yes, actually, that's really good. Thank you for reminding me, Anna. The multilingualism session is going to be tomorrow, actually. So it's not about multilingualism, but it's about the learning units. And as you mentioned, that Tommaso is going to be there, as well as at least one, if not two students who have taken that session as well, or that learning unit. So it's going to be talking a bit about the educational model, but there will be representatives from multilingualism there. So that's absolutely one that we would recommend for people to sign up for if they haven't done it yet.
Do you know what time it is? Do you have the program in front of you, or?
I should do. I want to say that one is, not that I want to say, it's from 11 to 12.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yep.
Would you like to say some last words, Lisa? Thank you for all your comments and your thoughts, your reaction.
Yep.
This is still the Urdu thing. Ittafa me barkat Urdu. What was that? I don't know.
I know. I'll have to pull out Google Translate.
Yeah.
But really appreciate everybody's input. It looks like we're getting some good final thoughts and reactions that have come in, and we just really want to say thank you to everybody for participating. We know it was just kind of a fun little quiz and just a fun way to get the week started, and get everybody thinking about all of the different cultures and languages that you're going to be encountering over the week with any other activities that you participate in. So thanks to everybody. We'll leave this running for a little bit longer. Just, we can keep it open for a bit longer. But besides that, I will say thank you from me.
And thank you from me. Have a nice week here at the EUTOPIA conference.
Yep. And good luck during the week.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.